Good evening, my brothers and sisters in the Lord. Welcome again to another Bible study here at the historical First African Baptist Church in Statesboro, Georgia, where I am the pastor, Reverend James A. Howard. So glad you were able to tune in just one more time in our Bible study. We've been having a high time and a powerful time in studying God's Word, despite of what we are going through with right now in this pandemic. But we're holding on by faith, and we know that God will take us through and going to continue to give us guidance in which way that we should go. So let us just hold on to God's unchanging hand and know that without any doubt, God is able. My brothers and sisters, we're going to continue on in the book of Ephesians, the second chapter. The second chapter that we studied on last week concerning about how God quickened us. We that were dead in sin. But Christ, by the Spirit of Christ's resurrection, He has quickened us. Then we move on down to about we are saved by grace. By grace are we saved. The same Spirit that rose Christ from the dead brought to existence our salvation. Now, in this week's lesson, we will continue on in Ephesians, the second chapter, verses 11 through 22. Verse 11 through 22. And the theme I want to bring before you here in the study, by way of studying, is reconciliation of Jews and Gentiles. That's right, reconciliation of Jews and Gentiles. I will begin reading down at the 11th verse. That's the continuation of chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. I begin reading at verse 11. Then read, wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision, in the flesh made by hand. That at that time ye were without Christ, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope, and without God in the world. But now in Christ Jesus, ye who sometime were far off are made nigh by the blood of Christ. For he is our peace, who has made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us, having abolished in his flesh the enmity, even the law of commandments contained in ordinances, for to make in himself of twain one new man, so making peace, and that he might reconcile both unto God in one body by the cross, having slain the enmity thereby, and came and preached peace to them, to you which were afar off, and to them that were nigh. For through him we both have access by one Spirit unto the Father. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints, and of the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye also are built together for an habitation of God through the Spirit. Let us pray. Our Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you right now for this holy word, Lord, that has been shed and read before your people right now. Lord, I pray, Lord, that I will decrease while you increase, Lord. Supply me with the wisdom and understanding and discernment, Lord, to teach the word, Lord. Show the people, Lord, a precise way of living your holy life, Lord, that you require for us to do. Bless us right now by the power of the anointing. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. The Holy Ghost, amen. As I was reading and had already told you before, reconciliation of Jews and Gentiles. Reconciliation. Well, we got to know what reconciliation is. A reconciliation means to restore friendly relationship between us. It is a word that means to coexist in harmony. Make or show to be compatible. You know, two things on the same coexistence. Now, we talk about the word enmity is a state of feeling or being opposed or hostile to someone or something. This is what brings forth this teaching that Paul is teaching to the Ephesian church and to all the other letters that Paul wrote. There was a hostile environment, atmosphere among Jews and those that were not Jews, which are Gentiles. So Paul was very, very powerful in that teaching, tearing down a wall that divided the two. And we know that when Christ came on the scene, Christ's purpose was to bring his glory into the church, not just for one group, but for all. Christ's purpose is to make a universal church. But through what was going on in those days, the church was separated by the ordinances, a covenant that man made by his hand. Truly, it was the law, but it did not include Gentiles. And we're going into the lesson and explain to you as best as God will share with me. We don't get it all this week, we'll get it another week. But I thank God for the reading of the word. Well, here we see, we already said, Jesus brought us out of that dark and sinful past. Brought us out. Therefore, our lesson plans, it says, wherefore remember. Wherefore remember. That's what I begin to read in the text right here. Wherefore remember. Wherefore remember. What you saying out there, preacher? Remember the former condition that you was in. Paul talked about to the Gentiles. Remember your former condition. You Gentiles, as you are outwardly in the flesh. What do you mean? You are Gentiles in the flesh. You Gentiles, the uncircumcised. Well, you was called that by those who were circumcised. But only with reference to an outward right. Well, the Jews had the right to call Gentiles uncircumcision because they were not included in the covenant. They were not included in the ordinance that was written by the covenant that God gave unto his people. Like I said before, Christ's purpose now is to bring glory into the church that will include all. Christ's purpose now is to make us all compatible. He tore down the wall of incompatibleness to make us all compatible. No, any nation, we're including ourselves. That's not a Jew, we're Gentile. Note that it said in time past, Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh by hand. Talking about Jews, Gentiles. But let's talk about that. God's work of reconciliation is not only between God and the individual. We're getting to a point here now. Though it must begin there. I'll say that again. God's work of reconciliation is not only between God and the individual, though it must begin there. It is also between groups of people that are at odds, such as the Jews and the Gentiles were in the days of Paul and even today. Well, the scripture said, who are called uncircumcision by what is called the circumcision. We know history tells us all down through the Bible, when you go back to the Genesis, the part of the Bible, the tribes of Israel didn't mingle with the other nations because the other nation was uncircumcised. Gentiles were in a desperate place of need of being reconciled before man and God. Well, they were considered aliens, strangers, that's what the text said, having no hope, and being without God in the world. This showed that they were not only spiritually dead, but they also did not have the access to God that the Jews enjoyed. With that being said, I'm reminded of a woman in John chapter 4, you remember the Samaritan woman? John 4:9 says, then said the woman of Samaria unto him, talking about Jesus, how is it that thou being a Jew askest me a drink of water? Remember that text? Which I'm a woman of Samaria. And you know the Jews don't have no dealing with the Samaritan. That confirmation right there, that they was considered outcasts, uncircumcised. Well, this takes me back to what I just said previously. It is a group of people that are at odds with one another. Jews and Gentiles. Well, I already said it's no different today between race and nationality. It takes us way back. People got one another on different categories. Well, some think that they are better than others. Not realizing all blood is red. God gave to all one breath. He didn't separate the breath when he blew breath into the nostrils of man. We have that one breath. That breath is God. Prejudice is no stranger among us. It comes from way back when. Prejudice exists way back long before our time. Prejudice means preconceived opinion that is not based on reason or actual experience. They may decide that they do like them because their skin color or what have you. Might not like you just because your skin color. But I'm not trying to push racism, but that's what prejudice is all about. This is racial prejudice, no matter what race you is. Somebody may have a streak of prejudice in you, not just naming down on one race. Well, this is what was taking place with Jews and Gentiles. Some prejudice leads to discrimination. That's what's taking place right here in the text I just read. Here in our lesson, Paul, through the name of Jesus Christ, is wiping the slate clean right there in Ephesus. And he did it in the other letters that he already taught the church. First, he dealt with the time past. Remember, in time past? He reflected on what has happened in the past no longer exists. He moved to the present. Well, you know what he did. Verse 13 said, but now, in Christ Jesus, ye who sometimes were afar off are made now by the blood of Christ. Well, in plain English, Paul is saying, but now, in union with Christ, you who were far off have been brought near through the shedding of Christ's blood. Those Gentiles who are now in Christ Jesus are no longer far off. They are made near to the things of God, and the blood of Christ accomplished it by his sacrificial death. I'm going to reflect the far off part. Let's go back to the far off part. Give me Genesis. Let's go back to Genesis. This is Bible study. Genesis, the 24th chapter. Let's turn back there. Real with me, please. Turn back with me to Genesis, the 24th chapter. For a moment here, this is Bible study. We're going to move right along. Here we see in the text that the covenant started with Abraham as far as circumcision. That's when the covenant started. It was a Jewish covenant they had to keep before man. They had to keep it now in order to please God. But if they didn't keep it, they were going to suffer consequences. So that's where the circumcision began. And that's why the sons of Jacob was so stern, so demanding that they mingled with circumcised nations. Now, in the 34th chapter, we see that the sons of Jacob deceived a Gentile nation one time. Remember the Dinah, the only sister of the 12 tribes of Israel, Dinah, the only daughter that Jacob had. They went to a nation and met a man called Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country. And Shechem fell in love with Dinah. And Shechem, the Bible said, loved Dinah. And Shechem spake unto his father, saying, that's in Genesis 34:4, get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, meaning he laid with his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, the son that went with Jacob's daughter, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved. Jacob's son was very mad. And they were very wroth, the Bible said, because that someone had brought folly upon Israel by mingling with the uncircumcised and the circumcision that was in the law. With things ought not to be done, that's what it was saying. And Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son, Shechem, longing for your daughter. I pray you give him to wife, and make marriages with us, and give your daughter unto us, and take our daughter unto you. Well, make a story short, in Genesis 34, the sons agree with it through deception. They told them, well, if you could be circumcised like as we are, then you can have my sister. So they did that. But on through the night, the Bible let us know that they slew the sons of Hamor, including Hamor. They slew the whole camp. And they took Dinah and brought her back home. But the Bible tells us one thing, that this thing worried Jacob of what his son had done. It was not right. It brought unpeace. It brought unpeace between Jacob and his family. Jacob did not desire that they kill a whole nation the way they did. It all happened because of circumcision and uncircumcision. Well, we got to know that Christ's purpose is to bring us all back to one person, not just no two people, not no separation here. As you see, some people may think you are brought near to God by only coming to church. But that's a metaphor of what Jacob's son felt like. Just because those people were uncircumcised, they could not mingle with them, which was the law back then. But going to church alone is good. That's good. The only way to be brought near to God is by the blood of Christ. We got to reflect on God's son, what he did. What Jesus did on the cross, suffering as a guilty sinner in the place of guilty sinners, Christ took sin upon himself. That was to bring us near to God. Verse 14 said, he is our peace. He is our peace. Who is our peace? Christ is our peace. But what they're saying right there, Jesus Christ himself made himself to be sin so that we can have peace with God. Well, what he did right here, who made both one. But what I mean both one? Jews and Gentiles are one by the work that Christ did, by the will of God. He broken down the middle wall of partition, that divided wall that separated the two, that Jacob's son thought they had the right to slay a whole nation because they were not circumcised. Well, he tore down the division that was between them and us. Christ did it. Where the work of Christ on the cross is common ground of salvation for all people. Therefore, there is no longer any dividing wall between Jews and Gentiles. Why? Because Jesus broke it down. He broke it all the way down. Well, he tore it down. The wall of separation is gone because the common lordship is greater than any previous division. His lordship is greater than any racial barrier, economic policies, or political status. If you don't believe that, then you have not fully understood what it means to be under the lordship of Jesus. This includes all of us. Verse 15, I like what verse 15 says in the text. It says, having abolished in his flesh the enmity, even the law of commandments contained in ordinance. That's what the sons of Jacob abided by. This was to eliminate the source of contention between Jew and Gentile. The source of contention between Jew and Gentile was the fact that the Gentiles did not keep the law. There was always a heated discussion or debate on the matter concerning circumcision. That's why Paul had to write these letters to the church. He had to pray to tear down that wall. But since Jesus fulfilled the law on our behalf, and since he bore the penalty of our failure to keep the law, we are reconciled through his work on the cross. Watch this. Putting to death the source of contention. Verse 16 says, and that he might reconcile both unto God in one body by the cross, but having slain the enmity thereby. Nobody no longer has to feel opposed by anyone. That's what enmity is. Gentiles and Jews are brought together into one body. That is the church. One body is the church. Where our unity in Jesus is far greater than our previous difference. Through Christ, that source of enmity between Jew and Gentile is dead. Even when we look at the circumstances taking place today, when we get in Christ, those fleshy circumstances of circumcision are dead. See, the flesh has to die in order to bring powerful results concerning God's will. The flesh got to die. Well, verse 17 says, and came and preached peace to you which were afar off, to them that are nigh. Talking about the work of Jesus. Jesus' purpose was to come preach peace unto the whole world. Well, verse 18 says, for through him, talking about Christ, we both have access by one Spirit unto the Father. Verse 17 through 18 tells of how Jews and Gentiles are brought together. Christ came and preached peace to all those that were afar off, taking away all of that enmity, and he's talking about the Gentiles to those that were far away, and the Jews that were already holding the law. But Christ brought them all together. As they respond to the same gospel, the same peace, which is Christ, that is to preach to those that are far off and those near, had the same effect on them by the power of preaching through Christ. Verse 18, it tells us, through him we both have access by one Spirit unto the Father. Well, they enjoy that access to God. Access that comes by the Spirit of God to the Father. Not only are Jews and Gentiles saved by the same gospel, but they have the same essential walk with God. All of us have access to God. No more fleshy work no more. It's all spirit, okay? One group does not have a greater access than the other, as it always used to be in the old days. Verse 19, it tells the Gentiles, now therefore, ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints, and are the household of God. Gentiles regard themselves as second-class citizens. In God's kingdom, in any regard, they are considered as one just like the Jews. Isn't that lovely right there? We are all equal members of God's house. Verse 20 says, built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets. Because we are one body and have the same access to God, it also follows that we are built upon a common and solid foundation in Jesus Christ. That foundation is what the original apostles and prophets came to do. And their enduring revelation recorded in the New Testament. We should never build on no other foundation because it won't stand. Jesus Christ himself being the chief cornerstone. I just get joy when I think about that. The chief cornerstone. This cornerstone refers to the capstone of the binding stone that holds the structure together, the church. Jesus Christ, he holds up the church. Verse 21 says, in whom all the building fitly framed together unto an holy temple in the Lord. Remember, the glory of Christ is in the church. Christ there to hold up the church because he is the chief cornerstone. As we keep on going with Christ, we keep our common foundation at stake. Well, the whole of God's people grows together in such a dynamic and anointing way. As a holy temple where God dwells in beauty and glory. This tells us that the church is God's dwelling place. The church not dealing by the hands of man. Well, I'm talking about God's dwelling place because I'm not talking about the building that we're out of at this moment because of the pandemic. The church is your temple. The church is your body. The church is the dwelling place where God lives in. So your body is a temple. Verse 22 says, in whom ye also are built together for an habitation of God through the Spirit. Habitation means that where God dwells and lives in you. God has made a way to establish his church. He is in control. I wish we can just pound it down and get it stone in our heart that God is in control of our church. When I note this, the Father makes all the rules and all the commandments as to how he called his church and how we should do his work, not by man's hand. Circumcision was an ordinance, I know, made by the hands of man. But Christ had torn it down now, torn down the middle wall of petition by his blood, that no longer is the hands of man is essential for salvation, but by Christ's death. The Son obeyed the Father, and he purchased the church by his blood. Well, the Holy Ghost will take possession in this temple. And I thank God for his reconciliation of everybody, whether you're Jew or Gentile. Remember, God loves us all. Reconciliation of everybody. Everybody. Let us pray. Our Father, in the name of Jesus, thank you right now, Lord, for this word, Lord, that has been found before your people everywhere, whether on YouTube, Lord, social media, Lord. I pray right now, Lord, that continue, Lord, to find a good place in our heart. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless you.